History often tells us stories in simple terms, but sometimes the truth is far more complex and has been hidden for centuries. Let's journey back in time to ancient Africa, a land of powerful queens and rich traditions. This story begins with a man named Ptolemy I Soter, a Greek general who came to Africa with Alexander the Great. He became the first foreign colonizer of Africa, establishing a dynasty that would rule Egypt for nearly 300 years. His arrival marked a significant turning point, bringing profound and lasting changes to the continent. He wasn't just a ruler, he was a figure whose legacy would be woven into the very fabric of Western culture in unexpected ways. The name Soter is a Greek word that means savior. Ptolemy was given this title, and it's a powerful word that has echoed through history. Interestingly, the field of study known as soteriology, which is the study of salvation in religion, is linked by some historians to the legacy of Ptolemy Soter. The image that many people associate with the savior today, with fair skin and flowing hair, is said to be based on the image of Ptolemy himself. This ruler, who took control of a part of Africa, was presented to the world as a figure of salvation, a concept that would reshape spiritual beliefs for generations to come. Ptolemy I Soter established his capital in a great Egyptian city and began to consolidate his power. He wasn't just interested in political control. He wanted to change the culture and beliefs of the people he ruled. He introduced new ideas and systems that were foreign to the African continent. This included a new god, Serapis, which was a blend of Greek and Egyptian deities, designed to unite his diverse subjects under his authority. This cultural shift was a deliberate strategy to erase the old ways and impose a new order, one that placed him and his lineage at the very center of power and worship. This introduction of a new system was not just about religion, it was about establishing a new foundation for society. Before the Ptolemies, many African societies were organized differently, with women holding significant power and influence. Ptolemy's rule began to challenge these ancient structures. As the first in a long line of foreign rulers, his actions set a precedent for the centuries that followed. He laid the groundwork for a new kind of world, one where the history of Africa's powerful matriarchs would be pushed into the shadows, waiting for a future time to be rediscovered and understood by new generations. Ptolemy I Soter was not alone in his ambitions. He was part of a powerful Hellenistic movement, a campaign that included other famous historical figures like Alexander the Great, and later, the Roman Emperor Augustus Caesar. Together, these rulers waged what can be described as a long war against the powerful African queens of the south. These were the formidable leaders of Nubia, Meroe, and Kush, regions known for their incredible wealth, advanced civilizations, and strong, independent women. These queens were not just royals. They were fierce warriors who defended their lands and their people with incredible skill and bravery against foreign invaders. These gender wars were a direct assault on the matriarchal systems that had thrived in these African kingdoms for ages. In these societies, power was often passed down through the female line, from mother to daughter, or from queen to her chosen female successor. This was a world where women were respected as leaders, generals, and the ultimate authorities. The Hellenistic rulers saw this system as a threat to their own patriarchal worldview, where men held all the power. Their military campaigns were therefore not just for territory, but for the complete overthrow of an entire social and political order that celebrated female leadership. The conflict was fierce and lasted for many years. The warrior queens, known as Candaces or Kentuckys, led their armies into battle, proving to be formidable opponents for the well-trained Greek and Roman legions. One of the most famous of these queens was Amanirenas, who fought a war against the invading Roman armies led by Augustus Caesar. She was a brilliant military strategist who successfully defended her kingdom's borders and negotiated on her own terms. These queens were the guardians of their culture, and their resistance was a testament to the strength and resilience of Africa's matriarchal traditions against overwhelming foreign pressure. Ultimately, the goal of Ptolemy and his successors was to dismantle this system of female empowerment. They sought to replace matriarchal succession with patriarchal succession, ensuring that power would pass from man to man. This was a fundamental change that would alter the course of history in the region. By attacking the warrior queens, they were attacking the very heart of African custom, aiming to create a new society where women were made second to men. This shift would have deep and lasting consequences, changing family structures and the role of women in society for centuries to follow. The changes brought by the Ptolemaic dynasty went beyond the battlefield and the laws of succession. A crucial part of their strategy was to control knowledge and rewrite history itself. They understood that to truly dominate a people, you must erase their memory of who they were. The Ptolemies began to systematically hide the knowledge and maps that belonged to the African queens they had fought. This precious information, which included advanced cartography and an understanding of the world, was not destroyed but cleverly concealed. It was encoded into symbols, religious stories, and the very architecture of the temples they built. Creation stories were reversed, and religious iconography was altered to reflect a new, male-dominated worldview. The powerful goddesses who were once central to African spirituality were replaced or demoted, while male gods were elevated. The history of matriarchal societies, where women were revered as creators and leaders, was carefully buried under layers of new narratives. These new stories often portrayed women in a negative light, labeling them as temptresses or sources of chaos to justify the new patriarchal order. This was a form of psychological warfare designed to make people forget the power and wisdom their ancestors had held. A fascinating part of this hidden history involves a peace treaty signed in 21 BC between the brave Nubian queen Amanirenas and the Roman Emperor Augustus Caesar. It is believed that as part of this treaty, magnificent temples were constructed, such as the famous Temple of Hathor at Dendera. These temples were not just places of worship, they were libraries of stone. It is said that these indestructible magnetic goddess temples were designed to preserve the ancient knowledge for a future time. Their walls are covered in intricate carvings and hieroglyphs that hold clues to this lost matriarchal world and its secrets. Within these ancient structures, some researchers believe we can find the hidden truths. The symbols are said to contain a true cartography of the Earth, a map far different from the one we know today. This hidden knowledge speaks of a world where our known continents are just one part of a larger reality. It suggests that the wisdom of the matriarchs included an understanding of the planet that has been deliberately kept from us. These temples, therefore, stand as silent witnesses, waiting for us to decipher their messages and rediscover the history that was so carefully hidden away. We are now living in what many believe is a great time of awakening. The secrets that have been hidden for thousands of years are beginning to surface, and people are starting to question the histories they have been taught. The stories of Africa's warrior queens and their powerful matriarchal societies are being brought back into the light. This is a time for uncovering the truth about figures like Ptolemy I Soter and understanding the profound impact his colonization had on Africa and the world. It is a moment to look past the accepted narratives and seek out the knowledge that was intentionally concealed. The clues left behind in places like the Temple of Hathor are more relevant than ever. Some interpretations of the symbolism found there suggest the existence of hidden lands and societies. These theories propose that beyond the icy barriers of Antarctica, there lies an elevated, extended landmass, home to matriarchal societies that have preserved the ancient ways. According to these beliefs, the maps hidden in the temple's art and symbols are a guide, a path for humanity to follow to rediscover this lost part of our world. This knowledge challenges our entire understanding of geography and history. It is crucial that we remember and honor the legacy of Africa's warrior queens, like Amanirenas. They were not just figures from a distant past, they represent a different way of life, one where power was balanced and women's wisdom was cherished. Their stories inspire us to reconsider the structures of our own societies and to think about what has been lost by suppressing matriarchal principles. By bringing their history to the forefront, we can begin to heal the wounds caused by centuries of imbalance and historical erasure. Their strength and resilience serve as a powerful example for us today. This moment in history calls for a return to balance. The unveiling of this hidden history is not just about correcting the past, it is about shaping a better future. By understanding how matriarchal knowledge was hidden and how patriarchal systems were imposed, we can work towards a world where both masculine and feminine energies are respected. The time for truth has arrived. It is an invitation for all of us, especially young readers, to become explorers of history, to question everything, and to help bring balance back to the earth by honoring the wisdom of our planet's forgotten matriarchs.